First, I would like to start with a small explanation of the theory that we will be returning over and over. And that's this Eastern way of seeing not just the body, but basically this is connected closely to our body, but it's like levels or layers of reality, how we can see the world and what's happening in the world. The first layer is Anamaya Kosha. Maya means illusion, but actually it means anything that is then it's existing in the reality and you can perceive it. It's not just that the world is a illusion, and if someone hits you with a stick on the head that it will not hurt you. It's a misunderstanding, but we don't see it completely as it is, because our senses are limited and our perception is limited, our brain is limited. So we can see only part of that reality. The complete physical part, ana means food. So anything which gets into our body and is translated then to parts of our body or to an energy, that's the physical reality, the physical part of our existence. Pranamaya Kosha, that's a layer of energy, and we will be working with that a lot, because it's not just one of the layers, but that's the layer that connects us through the other ones. It's like an interface between them, between the other layers, and it helps us to get deeper and deeper through work of the energy to other layers. Mano means it's a senses. It's our all the senses that we have available to perceive the world with, but also our lower brain, like memory and our experiences, through which we perceive reality in a specific way. And Vijnana, it's a higher mind. It's actually called Buddhi sometimes. From that is Buddha, that enlightened one, the one that is able to find out and recognize what is good and what is bad, to be able to have this insight that you are often having, that you realize that something is good for your life and something is very clear, even though you don't need to act according to it at the moment, but you have that glimpse of reality, of the insight, of the intuition. That's what intuition means, actually. That's this level of higher mind. And the complete upper level, the top level, is Ananda, which is bliss. It's samadhi, is the state of non-dual perception. It's the universal consciousness. And we can get through these layers up or deeper and understand a little bit more about the world, how it works, how it functions, and also how we work, how we recognize what is good and what is bad for us. And even though we live in all of these layers, we are affected by all of them. Like you can get through a physical suffering in the life, you can have illness or some accident in your life. You can still live in a perception of Ananda. You can be in that state of bliss or ecstasy, enjoying the life and knowing that this is not just this physical reality, but actually the soul or the God is never affected by these things which we are experiencing in the lower levels of existence and reality. Even though the body could be affected, and our mind and emotions, and we are getting through the turmoils of emotions and relationships, we can still live in that higher bliss, knowing that the higher truth, the self with the big S, the soul, is never changed and never affected by that. And for different layers, we use different tools usually, because they are more effective in that level of reality. If you want to affect the body, we usually use asanas or any physical practice that we can keep our body healthy, strong. We can clean partially or cleanse our body through asana practice and some cleansing practices from hatha yoga, for instance, but any other techniques. In the energetic level, we have something called pranayama, which is not work through the breath. Breath is just a medium for the energy. But actually, that means expansion of the energy and control over the energy. So it's completely different. It's not just breathing, it's something much more subtle. At the beginning, the breath is a good tool for it because it's closely connected to our mind, feelings, emotions, and to our energy. And it's the easiest way how to affect energetic landscape of our body through the breath. But for the higher level, for our senses, we usually use, from yogic perspective, the tools that helps us to internalize, to overcome the limited perception through our senses. So pratyahara is actually control of anything which is coming to our body, not just through the senses, but usually it's meant by senses, but also the food you eat, the emotions you are getting, the relationships, and through that anything, any perception getting into your body is controlled on this stage in yogic technique. And then these higher levels like Vijnana, the higher mind, the only way how you can get there, it's a way of meditative approach. You can call it meditation or contemplation, because we need to get behind that thinking rational mind. We need to get a little bit higher or deeper, and we need to actually close the mind, stop the thinking mind, to be able to get to the higher perception and to be reconnected to a god or to a universal consciousness, so we can get that insight or glimpse of that higher reality. And there is no other way how you can get there. Of course, there are like the hallucinogens and all these like helps that can for some time stop your mind from thinking, and you can bypass it and get this door slightly open so you can see a little bit more than it's usually seen. So if it's used in this way, it's okay. If it's overused, like another experience or acceleration of our senses, it's actually counterproductive, because it's getting us back to the lower levels, because we will fall again from that high state through the drugs back to the very lower level. And if it's not opening for us the own work and attention to get there back through our tools instead of using something external, it's not helping us actually. And we will be returning to these different levels. You don't need to know the names of that, and just to understand that. That's why I have that pyramid or the triangle the opposite way, because you can affect the physical body by physical training and by the food you get into yourself, but you can't affect it. So you can't affect the consciousness or the higher mind through physical practice. You can, just by very little. You can change the chemistry through asana practice, so you can feel good for some time, but you are not actually changing anything. You are not creating new patterns of perception. It's very limited how you can affect from the lower layers the higher layers. That's why subtler the techniques and tools we use, like a mantra and yantra, meditation, kriya techniques, bandhas, subtler they are getting, more effective they actually are. But we need to get there to be able to understand that and to feel that and to get to that level of the consciousness to be aware what they are affecting and how they work. If someone who is not touched by any spiritual practice or any yoga techniques, they will start meditating, they will not get much from that. Maybe they will calm their mind, but usually they are more distracted and more angry because it's not come on, I can't call my mind, it's not working, I'm just sitting here. And they keep thinking, and actually there is more thinking process, new patterns created in the thinking, and it's not helping. So we first need to go there step by step, and then we can use more effective technique for that layer. And higher you go, more you can affect even the layers down there in the triangle. So if you think that you can heal yourself and you are really in that state of consciousness, that it's not just a rational realization, but you can actually feel it, you can get there, you expand your consciousness, you can heal anything in your body, in your mind. And even the physically, you can heal yourself from that higher layer of a consciousness. But if it's just a rational thinking, nothing will happen. You can imagine it. You can do any affirmation you want, like I love it myself, I love myself, damn, I hate myself. Because if it's not real, if it's not from the heart, if it's not felt or experienced, it's just words that will not happen to create the new reality. But you are already in the higher levels. So this is just a reminder that we are actually in all of these layers all together. It's not just we are staying in a level of our heart or of our mind or higher mind. We need to work through all the layers and we need to integrate them. The goal is not to forget the body and forget the energy and to dissolve into universal consciousness. Of course, at the end, we will die and it will happen naturally. But just to destroy the body, like Buddha was trying to do, and to renounce, it could be a path, but for a very little percentage of people. It's better from a tantric point of view to use everything, even this physical experience and the life we are living, for the building the experience and expanding our states of consciousness, and use everything as a playground for us to grow and understand and to become wiser and better person, more conscious, more compassionate, humble, and also successful in all what we do. But it should be helping us on achieving dharma, or that spiritual goal in life which we set for ourselves.